Alright, so this is part 2 of my Borderlands the pre-sequel any percent claptrap speedrun tutorial. This is going to be a continuation of part 1. I'm not going to be explaining anything that I explained in the previous part, so if you stumble across this video and haven't watched part 1, I definitely recommend you watch part 1 before jumping into part 2, as I'm not going to be explaining really too much that was explained previously. So we just finished the RNG farming split. We have all the weapons we need to finish the run, essentially. We are going to be jumping right into this video with probably the quintessential Borderlands glitch in infinite ammo. Actually, now that I think of it, I think that's better than that. I don't know, we'll see. Not important. The quintessential Borderlands speedrunning glitch in infinite ammo, which involves flat-off rocket launchers. So flat-off rocket launchers, their unique effect, their gimmick, is that they consume reduced ammo per shot. Now the way they coded that was the second shot after you equip the weapon, and then subsequently every third shot has a -1 ammo consumption, is the way that they coded it. Well, you can take that -1 ammo consumption and merge it onto your character. And by merging that, all of your weapons will consume -1 less ammo than they actually consume. So the Vandergraffen consumes 1 ammo per shot. So the Vandergraffen will just consume 0 ammo. The probe will consume 2 ammo per shot, so 2 minus 1 is 1 ammo per shot. So we can merge that onto our character in the same way that we merged the probe onto our bullpup in the last area. It's a lot easier with now that we have 3 inventory slots, because now we have the weapon that we want to merge, the axe, and then the weapon we want to merge onto, and we don't have to deal with force equipping or anything. So we want to make sure that the Vladoff is selected, and then we want to equip our axe. So we need to fire it once. Now, if I were to fire the Vladoff again, this next shot wouldn't consume any ammo. So, and I guess just to demonstrate it, I fire once, and my ammo still stays at 4. And then one way that I can, just for a fun fact for everyone, one way that you can recycle that free shot is swap back and forth to the Vladoff, and now this next shot still won't consume any ammo. So that's just a fun fact to get more out of your free shots casually. So I still have that axe. So I'm on the free shot on the Vladoff. I swap to my axe. I swap to the Vladoff, and then I swap to the probe. Now this probe will you can tell that I'm merged because visually it stays merged. You can tell that I'm consuming reduced ammo per shot because instead of consuming 2 ammo, this will only consume 1. Just like that. So the thing with the way that the -1 is coded is that once you have it merged onto your character, you can actually unequip it. So it's not a massive pain. So now this consumes only 1 ammo per shot, and then the launcher, which is the most important one, doesn't consume any ammo. So you can fire your launcher infinitely. And this is why claptrap is used, because you can only get infinite ammo using, in a speedrun setting, and in any percent speedrun setting, you can only get infinite ammo using these buzz axes. So this is why claptrap is hands down the best in terms of speedrun. So we have the infinite ammo merged, and then we also want to get our healing merged. You saw how good it was with the bullpup. Imagine how good it is with the AoE damage and the splash damage that launchers give. So I'm going to go to the probe. I'm going to swap to the axe, swap to the probe, and swap to the launcher. You actually don't have to. Now that I think of it, you don't have to swap to the probe first. You just have to swap to the axe, then the probe. So the order goes axe, then weapon you want to merge, and then weapon you want to merge onto is the order that you have to do it in. So now that you have that done, If you have a level 10 shotgun, I generally equip that here, but since oh crap, I think I just unmerged my probe. Yeah, I just unmerged my probe. Okay, so we get to merge again, which is fine. So you don't have to do that. So you want to merge X, probe, launcher, and there we are, we're merged again. So since I don't have a level 10 Jacob shotgun, I'm just gonna equip the bullpup. It doesn't really matter if it gets equipped in that slot. So here is another way where you can just get a bunch of free experience, especially now that you have a launcher and don't have to deal with the Vandergraffen. So you can skip this dialogue. Since you're supposed to hit that door first, or that console thing first, but since I hit it before, I just have to hit the console again, so it played that dialogue. So it says to hit the console. That's the console you're supposed to hit. You don't actually have to hit it. There's a trigger over here, and if you just hit that, it'll move on to the next one, and then you can just open the door, and you don't actually have to do hit the console that she's telling you. So that will always be a cryo barrel, which really helps with taking out the torque basilisk that spawns there. So generally I like to keep my action skill to interrupt Felicity's dialogue right there. You can't hit the console until she stops talking, so I generally like having my action skill to interrupt that, and I'm downing myself very frequently, which could very well be a problem. So this is a way to fight. You just have to kill a bunch of torques. This launch is really solid. The rocket speed's not great. The fire rates could be better, but damage is pretty solid. It's purple, so yeah, you just have to clear out all the torques. You have to be careful where they spawn. They spawn in every which way. So you need to activate this. You want to skip. You want to make sure you're able to get an echo active. So you can skip some of that dialogue that just happened. Otherwise, you just have to wait a little bit. So you need to activate this jump pad, but you don't actually want to take the jump pad to where it's telling you to. You want to grenade jump off of it, and then instead of going to that one, you want to go to this one. So you can land right around here and not trigger the next chain of dialogue, and then you can play your echo and skip the dialogue and hit the next area. So as you're going here, there's some more torques that you can down yourself with instead. So just take this path, and then before you enter this room, echo and hit that lever. You can grenade jump in this area to go faster, but there's a cryo barrel that's in here always, so you have to be careful. So one bad thing about the rocket speed that I have is I'm downing myself a lot with the rockets, which again could bite me in the butt. And then another thing that just happened that is another quirk about Claptrap. Claptrap is a robot that's made of human flesh. So because of that, he's weak to both fire and corrosive. So that corrosive dot that was on me from the barrel just obliterated me because Claptrap's a robot. So that's a fun little quirk about Claptrap. So this next area has a really neat out of bounds. There are two different ways you can do it. I honestly never do the second way. I prefer if you grenade jump around this line and then air boost up, you can land in here, and then you can land on this little walkway, catwalk thing. And then I've honestly never done this other out of bounds for this other version, this grenadeless. So we'll see if I can figure it out. So you land on no. Can you land on this? Maybe it's you land on this, and then you Yeah, I don't know. The grenade jump's easier, and I think it's faster, so pretty simple. There we go. You land on here, pretty straightforward. I wouldn't do the grenadeless one. If anything, I'd find grenades before doing the grenadeless one. So what you have to do when you get out of bounds, you can walk on this area, and then this platform is actually raised, even though it doesn't look like a platform. You want to hit this save. You can hit it through the wall, and then you actually for real down yourself, and you just bleed out. So that skips like 1 or 2 wave fights, some animations of doors open. It skips a bunch of time and effort and fights that you have to do. So once you spawn in, use your echo, hit this window, and then skip Gladstone. And then another wave fight. So you just have to kill a bunch of scavs. There's nothing really to it. What's a little annoying is I think this badass scav can be flying, which especially if you have a slow rocket speed launcher, can be a little annoying to hit. I haven't used any of my skill points, but I do have a bunch of them. Finish off by Spuds for life, and then put everything into all the things are awesome, because no matter, even though it is minuscule, more fire rate and more max health are always nice. So something you want to do while you're waiting for this, or while you're fighting, if you can get in this room and check this vendor, or check this crate, chest, whatever, you can potentially get some really strong items. Level 14 is a really good level for items that you can get, and then I think once you get past this next area, any items that you find on the ground are actually going to be too high a level for you to be able to use in the speedrun. So do your looting in these next 2 areas while you can, because otherwise you'll be screwed. So Gladstone, way back like an hour ago or so, whenever we finished the mayor's office and turned in the quest to Janie and picked up her quests, we have that dialogue saved, and we've been saving it to this point. So if you open your quest log, you can press Q and sort by missions that you've already accepted, and for this one you're going to use Tales from Elpis, and then you hit Gladstone's trigger and it skips everything. Quest swapping is so incredibly strong that even in a game where you can skip every line of dialogue just already, you still use quest swaps because you can skip a lot of dialogue at once. So next is a bit of a difficult grenade jump. It's a double grenade jump, which seems daunting, but especially when compared to BL2 double grenade jumps, it's not nearly as difficult. So you want to get in this area, you look straight up, and then you spam your... I missed it. Nope, I didn't. Yeah, I did. So get over here, look straight up, and then spam your grenade. I messed it up again. Okay, let's try it again. There we are. So look up, throw your grenade, turn down, spam your grenade. It'll fire as soon as it can, and then you can get out of bounds here. And then you want to like maneuver around this area. You can walk. It looks like you can walk on this portion, but you actually can't. You walk like inside of this. It's a little weird. And then you get over here, and you're back in bounds, and you don't have to wait for any of Gladstone's shenanigans. So really fast, and despite the fact that I screwed it up, it's actually not that difficult once you try it and get used to it a couple times. So I am a little bit out of oxygen. Neat thing, if you open these crates, you can actually potentially get a little bit of oxygen, but I didn't get them. Let's just get a little bit of oxygen because... So, I'm going to start this fight. I guess here's some oxygen. And you want to kill these loaders. If you can click fast enough, you can, and if you have a level 11 or 10 launcher, then these guys' crit spots are massive. So you can just spam your shotgun into them, and it's faster. But I don't have a shotgun, so the launcher works fine. Check these vendors if you want. My shield's level 12, so I don't quite have it yet. So here's another way fight. You just clear out. These are more guys that can fly, that can be a little difficult to hit. If you can use the walls to fire your rockets at, and the collateral damage can potentially hit them. So it's just a sample standard wave fight, and you just have to know where the enemies actually spawn. And actually, I guess I can see this launcher's actually better. So this badass outlaw is the last enemy that you need, and you really need to be careful because this outlaw has a chance to spawn with a launcher, and he has a chance to spawn with a Vladov launcher. And if he fires that Vladov launcher, then you lose your infinite ammo, because the way that the variable is stored, it's stored globally in the game. So if any one period fires a Vladov launcher, then you will lose your infinite ammo, which is definitely something to know for co-op runs. If your claptrap has infinite ammo and your Athena fires a Vladov rocket launcher, your claptrap will lose infinite ammo. So definitely be careful with that. I actually don't know which is better. So I actually screwed up there. Before you kill the... Okay, we're good. Before you kill the outlaw, you definitely want to play an echo, so that you want to play an echo so that you can skip all the dialogue. Keep skipping dialogue here, and then these are cryo barrels. You can shoot those and it'll count. If you weren't an idiot and still having your action skill, then you want to do a sequence skip here. But since I'm dumb, I didn't even normally skip. So sequence skip here saves a lot of time, because this is a lot of dialogue that you have to skip. So you want to get back to here, activate this console. And just kill these bots. And they hurt. Ow. Oh no. Right, so that was pretty decent. The thing that sucks about these bots is their eyes fly everywhere. So you might have to swap to the quest to actually see where the eyes landed. Ah. That's unfortunate. So there's nothing. I think I grenade jumped off of an enemy grenade. That's funny. Alright. So before you enter in here, you want to play an echo and just skip that line. And you just wait for this. Check this chest, see if there's anything helpful in it. Of course, there's nothing. So you just wait here. And then once the eye is finished, you're gonna wait for that line, yeah, science bitch, and you're gonna try for a sequence skip. It's really difficult to get, but if you can get it, it saves a bunch of time and skips a ton of this dialogue. It doesn't skip all of it, unfortunately, but it does skip a good amount of it. So you install the eye, skip this line, activate the console, and then I didn't die. Cool. And then you want to go back to the travel and travel out. So generally, this is skipping a lot of animations, and generally in Borderlands games and speedruns and all that, the way that you would skip animations is by save quitting, but we have infinite ammo set up. We use 2 axes to merge the healing and the infinite ammo onto us, so we'd have to use 2 more axes to merge that again. So it's more worth, since you're right by the travel, it's worth taking the 5 seconds it takes to run back to the travel, to travel in and travel out, than it would be to save quit and have to use 2 more axes. So we actually do this one more time in a place that will save us time, but we have to run a little bit to get there. So once we get back, we go to the testing facility, and you can get if you have your action skill, you can get a sequence skip here. I didn't get it, and I got Krieg, so I can't believe this is working. Huh. So getting these guys low is a process, and it's actually a lot more difficult than it seems. And that's actually pretty decent. So if you have a level 11 or level 10 shotgun, Jacob shotgun, then that's really good to use for getting these guys low. Since I don't have one of those, I can use the bullpup that I still have, and it actually works decently well. It's not, it's not as bad. The Jacobs would be a lot better at killing the badasses, especially starting off. I definitely recommend just outright killing the badasses to get a little bit more experience, and just letting the turrets try and take out the non-badasses. But especially if you have any level 12 gear, that means you can get that level 12 gear a lot faster. So getting a lot of XP is definitely really good. Finish everything so you can just kill everything in this area that's still remaining for the extra XP. Especially badasses, because they give a good chunk of XP. If that was shock, that actually wouldn't be terrible. So we want to get back here, activate this console, and then we have more out of bounds. This one isn't even that difficult to do. You just have to get here, and then actually boost up here, and you're out of bounds. It's actually kind of funny how simple it is to get out of bounds here. So you can grenade jump to move a little faster, but you want to go over this room, and then over here, and then you can land on this, and then you can get back in bounds right here, and then you can get to over here and install Felicity into the power suit. Right, activate that, and then you can check this chest. I think this is about your last chest check to see if you can get anything fair, which I didn't. If you've been collecting a ton of moonstones, and actually if you want to do one more new game glitch in like Concordia or something, you can probably get enough moonstones to roll this moonstone chest and potentially get like all moonstone chests have I think they spawn at least a blue rarity weapon, so you can get a high rarity launcher if you want. So to get back in, since we didn't go the intended way to get to Felicity, this door isn't actually open. So in order to get back in, you have to go this way. You can just directionally boost to get here, and you can make it, although it's like max height directional boost, or you can grenade jump. You just have to be careful, because if you overshoot it, there is no death point over here, so you just fall indefinitely. Yep. What am I doing? So boost up here, and then you boost. Yep. What am I doing? Oh no. Hopefully I didn't screw up Felicity. So that's the grenade jump, and then there we are. You get back in bounds here, And then we have the power suits. So since I'm level 12 and I have a Jacob shotgun now, I'll show you what the power suits with that look like. And like I said, they have really massive crit spots, so you can fire a ton of shots into their crit. And especially if they don't move, then you can actually kill them pretty quickly. Although since I'm downed, the launch is probably better. I think I screwed Felicity for taking too long. Huh. Oh no, she's moving. But I'm dead. Woo, I'm alive. There she is. So, if you're too slow, then you lose a lot of time from Felicity having to like go back and forth. But, yeah. So, a neat thing about the probe healing is, like I said, it heals all damage that you do. So I just shot a barrel. I did damage to the barrel, so therefore I got healed by doing damage to the barrel. The more comical version is you heal from hurting yourself. By grenade jumping, you do damage to your shield. So the damage to your shield gets healed off. And then there's certain ammo crates that you can actually that you can shoot and then heal off of shooting the ammo crate. It's really weird. So anyway, once Felicity gets here, you can potentially get a sequence skip. This is around the time where... Yeah, that was too late. Yeah. This is around the time where you can potentially get a badass challenge completed for using a launcher or something. Your dialogue skips and sequence skips can potentially get screwed up by having that skin in your inventory, so be careful with that. So what you want to do once you hit that console, this is another place where you're traveling out to skip an animation, especially if you get the grenade jump and the bunny hop properly. You can get back to this travel before you need to travel. So once Jack says it got awesome, then you can travel out. And then traveling back, we'll skip the animation of Felicity going into I guess the final area, really. So once you get it, it essentially saves no time over save quitting because you can get back there before the animation ends. So this is a bit of a difficult area to get through because, again, even though you have infinite ammo, you're still super underleveled. You have infinite ammo, you have a launcher, you can do a ton of damage, but you take a ton of damage as well. So you need to like muscle your way into here. Deal with this badass outlaw who also can spawn with Blood Off, which can ruin your day. If you're fast enough, you can skip this line as well. Gladstone's line right there. If not, oh well, I don't think I ever really skip it in my runs. So here is baby IVF. Okay. One more vendor that you can check, and I just realized I have a new shield. I'm gonna equip that. And here we have Felicity. So here, if you're fast enough, you can do a sequence skip to interrupt Jack's dialogue, or your own dialogue to be able to plug that in sooner. But since I was slow, it didn't really matter. Now here is probably the funniest skip in the game. So this is another death fling, and it's actually one of the easier death flings in the game. So you want to do is you want to ram yourself in there's a little corner here, you ram yourself up against this gate, and once you go far enough that way, you go far enough this way, and you're like in a corner. You down yourself, and then you look at this corner, and you'll death fling into this area that it's supposed to open once you actually kill Felicity. And it's the way that you travel out to travel back to Concordia. the game doesn't check to make sure that Felicity is dead. It just checks to make sure that you traveled back to Concordia from this travel. So, we're trapped in this room. The only way that we can get out is by traveling out. So let's just travel to Concordia. And we did it. We killed Felicity. Funniest skip in the game. So anyway, we're back in Concordia. We killed Felicity, quote unquote. Before we get to Jack, we can do a sequence skip. And the mission reward for the okay, this is something that I don't know the specifics of, but Blightbot, the minion burning bright skill that I got, somehow messed up my echo and like interrupted it and canceled it from playing, which meant that I couldn't skip dialogue anymore, which is a little annoying, and I don't know the cut. It doesn't happen every time, but it's something that could happen. If your echo doesn't work, then check to see if you got Blightbot's action skill, and if that's active, and if that's why, then that's the case. So I'm going to open this, return to Jack. You probably want to grab these and then return to Jack, but you want to grab the Vibra Pulse and you want to grab the Slammer. That's what it's called, right? Yeah, Miss Moxie Slammer. So you want to grab those. The Kiss of Death doesn't matter, and then you're going to save quit. Which I know I said before, you're wasting so many axes and yada yada yada, but this is again skipping an animation, and getting to a travel and traveling in and out is a lot slower in this scenario than it would be in the other scenario, because again you have to reset up everything every time you save quit, and since you're right next to a travel and you're losing 10 seconds max for both travels out, it's faster to just travel in and out to skip the animations as opposed to save quitting in that scenario. So that is one save quit that you do. And because you save quit, everyone goes from Moxie's bar to inside this, to right in front of the fast travel. So here, while everyone's doing the traveling, is where you can set up your merge everything and set up infinite ammo and whatnot again. So like I said, but I think I said this before, but I'm gonna a little bit more in depth. Turning in that mission to Jack will always give you a blue shotgun. What shotgun it is random. You can get a terrible single barrel TDR that does nothing, or you can get a really good single barrel Jacob shotgun that's blue that'll do a ton of damage at the exact right time that you want it. It's a point of RNG that you can't really control, and if you get a shotgun there, you're lucky essentially. So I'm gonna make sure the Blood Off's equipped, and okay, I'm set up properly. Axe, fire, axe, launcher, probe. Get rid of the launcher. Axe, probe, launcher, and I'm set up properly. Right. So once everyone's travels, the Hyperion Hub of Heroism unlocks, and we can travel there. And I'm gonna buy some grenades. I didn't necessarily need them, but it's nice to have. So this is an interesting area in that it's, I think, one of the oh no, never mind. It was the last area of Titan Robot production that was had a lot more gravity than the other areas. Most all of the other areas in the game, barring Helios Station, had very low gravity, whereas Titan Robot production and now Hyperion Hub of Heroism have pretty high gravity. So just changes a lot of the movement. So it's really interesting. So as with the previous area, we are extremely low level. So all the enemies. I tend to kill myself pretty frequently. Seems to be an issue. So these enemies do a ton of damage to us. We do a ton of damage to them, and we can heal a bunch of damage, but these guys, they do a bunch of damage, so you have to be a little careful. So you want to grenade jump all the way this way, take about the path I took, and get over here. If you get here fast enough, then all this dialogue will just interrupt itself, so you don't have to worry about skipping any dialogue. Yeah. So once you hit that trigger, you want to go back to Jack's office. And then doing that fast enough will... I missed it. So getting there and activating the scanner fast enough will just skip its own dialogue. So it's fun. There's one quick second that you have that you can get your echo in, like, there should be one nearby before this line that's currently playing, that you can get your echo in and skip this current line. But if you don't get it, it's not the end of the world. And actually, I'm glad that guy jumped up, because otherwise I'm dead. So once you open this, and as the claptrap falls out, you want to get a sequence skip, and he moves right away. So this fight has a pretty bad soft lock, and it's not quite at this point yet, but it is a pretty bad soft lock that you have to be really careful of when doing this area, because otherwise I don't think it's one that can be traveled by, or that can be fixed by traveling. I think you have to save quit and reset up everything again to fix the soft lock. So this section, you want to keep an enemy alive. You don't want to kill every single enemy. So more enemies spawn, so I can kill a little bit more. So this is the last enemy. And then once the voice says warning, you can kill. And then you avoided the... of course I got it. Actually, I can use that. Cool. So by doing that, I avoided the soft lock. If you kill everything before the Hyperion voice says warning, then the claptrap won't move. So you'll have to save quit to fix him. So once he gets here a little bit, you want to try for another sequence skip, but now I have an alright, so now that I have, so getting this acrobat was a bit bittersweet. Like I mentioned before, acrobats are the Oz kit that you want to be looking out for, and they're really the only Oz kit that are worth grabbing in the run. In the All Quest run, we keep the Freedom Oz kit because it's reduced ammo, reduced Oz consumption, which is really nice. But acrobats are really the only ones that are worth your time. But because of that, if you do get an acrobat, like I still have Springs' Oz kit, and I've finished many runs with that still being my Oz kit. If you get an Oz kit, it will be above your echo log in your backpack. So you have to be really conscientious of whenever you're doing sequence skips or dialogue skips that you... I just unmerged my healing. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, so that's one bad thing about potentially getting axes while you have infinite ammo, is you could potentially unmerge what you have, and I don't know the way that you can still keep everything merged. Before you kill that guy, you want to also dialogue skip, but I was too busy merging that I forgot. So dialogue skip. Skip Racist hot dog. Yep. Oh, this is a sick shot. You generally want to stay near the door interface and try and kill from that area, because if you can skip this dialogue, then you can activate this sooner. But that line you actually can't skip, which is funny. For whatever reason, you can't skip to it or I'll kill you. I might actually just... Okay, I missed a lot of dialogue skips in this area, but... Alright. So once you enter Jack's office, you generally throw a grenade whenever he says past, and then it explodes by the time you've activated fast travel, and then you can boost back to the travel. So use some ammo crates for some grenades, and you can get some nice bunny hops to get to R&D. That was alright.
My name is Zarpedon. 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 You must have been super popular in high school.
So, this isn't actually a marked objective, but make sure you hit this button to open the door before trying to get in. It's something simple, but worth pointing out. So, check vendors, just because still nothing really all that helpful. And then here, another wave fight. Just kill Torx, pretty straightforward. Make sure to check the walls, because Torx like to be jerks and hang out there. And for some reason you don't have to kill all the Torx, apparently. I don't know, it's weird. So you want to make sure you wait to hit Gladstone's trigger until the objective actually updates. So you turn into Gladstone, and here you just got your last inventory slot. So I generally use that, put a sniper there, and you can just bypass this door by doing 2 directional boosts to get up here. It's a very well walled off game. So do a couple bunny hops to get to this guy, and then he wants you to grab something over here, so more bunny hops. That was actually a pretty nice bunny hop. So once you get over here, this door is gonna if you press it once, it's gonna do like a scan of you and like authorize your access. But if you just press it twice, it opens immediately. This area makes no sense in any capacity of the word. So there's a lot of oddities from this area. So another bunny hop to get back. Again, another pretty slick bunny hop. And then here you want to kill the stalkers. It's generally just the needle stalkers that you have to kill that are the ones that count. Generally any rabid stalkers make their way over from that area, and they're generally not the ones that count for this. And he actually did this right away. You want to try and get a sequence skip, but I missed it, so at the very least I can interrupt him over here. There we are. I was like, did I soft lock him? Did I find a soft lock that I didn't know about? No. Okay, so he's gonna open this thing, and we get a railgun, but it's level 19, and level 19 is too high a level for us. We will not hit level 19 there during this run. So, a skin that I don't have. Neat. So, any gear that you find in this area is useless. You can sell it for money and that's about it. So another way fight where you kill a bunch of torques. Queens are a pain. Torques are a huge pain because they have a ton of health and they make even more torques. But once you kill everything, Taurus will open the door for you. And then you're gonna go over here. You need to do a little bit of it. You need to do a directional boost to get up to here, and then you do a grenade jump. This is actually a bit tricky, but you do a grenade jump to get up here, and then a boost to get up here, and you're out of bounds. And you can actually hit this save. With Claptrap, it's actually super easy. You just have to down yourself, and then I just wedge myself into this corner and down myself, and then Claptrap's wonky death animation ends up hitting the save. You can hit that save with all the other characters too. It's just a little bit more finicky than the setup that I just had there. So that saved a ton of travel time. You have to go like, you can't see the, you have to like go all the way around, a ton of travel time that you just skip by doing this. So, and skill points, I'll finish off all the things are awesome. Right. And then once you do that, you want to do a sequence skip and grab the I got Funzerker. Try to grab the teddy bear doing that. So actually this wasn't too bad considering I got Funzerker. So the problem with Funzerker, which you can see with my offhand, is your main hand will still have infinite ammo, but your main hand will, or what am I saying? Your main hand will still have infinite ammo, but your offhand will not. So especially with a launcher, you have limited launcher ammo, so you generally don't want to be firing your launcher if you have Funzerker, because you'll just use up all of your launcher ammo. So like as I said at the very start, Funzerker is really good for bosses and for mobbing up until level 10. Once you hit infinite ammo, Funzerker is a very bad action skill that you get, that you just don't want to get, because for launchers, your offhand consumes ammo, and for shotguns, you don't fire as fast as you can just click. So it's a lose-lose no matter which weapon you use. Generally, if you get Funzerker, you just want to down yourself with your launcher, so long as there's a second win that you can get easily. So after you finish this, you should skip the dialogue. I forgot. You generally want to skip this dialogue too, but again, I forgot. So after you do that, you're going to do the same out of bounds, which I missed this time. Like I said, it's a bit difficult to get this. Oh, come on. Oh my god. There we are. There we are. So I got it that time. So instead of trying to hit this save, you're gonna go this way. And this wall isn't solid. And then you're gonna like ricochet a grenade off of there and get onto this little catwalk thing, and then go through here and then down through here. And you don't have to wait for Torres to come over here and open the door. So pretty nice. As you're going through this area, kill all these stalkers, because that's the next objective, is to kill all these stalkers. So if you can get the guys over there as you're coming over here, that's definitely good, so long as you don't down yourself on the last one. So once you get that, knock on the door, and then after like a quick second, get a sequence skip. And that skipped everything for the door to open.
Hyperion snipers when it's done.
and get your way over here. So this is where there's a bit of a difference in strats. Some people merge one of their snipers onto their character right now so that they have extra crit damage for this stalker. I personally don't bother messing with having to remerge, especially since like I'm already fairly low on axes. There's actually a split coming up where I have to farm for axes, and since I'm low right now, I need to farm even more, so I don't generally want to waste the axe. But what you do want to do is you want to reset your keybind so that your fire is scroll down. So with fire on scroll down, while the stalker is doing this animation, you can get a ton of crits into him, and especially if you do have the sniper merged, you could kill him extremely quickly. I still killed him quickly enough that that's why I'm not too bothered with merging the extra sniper onto my character. And especially if you get a really good shotgun, then another let off. So if you get another action skill, you can get another sequence skip, and it skips a good chunk of this. But I think Punkbot actually messed with my dialogue skip. So you get this, and then you save quit again. Again, skips a bunch of animations and takes you directly back to the travel primarily is what this one's for. So while you're save quit in the menu, you can change your keybinds back to normal. And then you can respawn. So once you respawn, you can go to Jack's office. And then you want to play an echo before you do this. So let's see if I can get a bunny hop all the way to the end. Nah. Yeah, I missed the bunny hop. Oh well. So you want to pick up that echo and then give the pocket watch to Jack, and it'll skip all of this dialogue. It really doesn't. It's weird why that works, but it does, and it skips a whole bunch of dialogue. Now, there's two strats coming up that you can do. I don't know the specifics on the strat that AC uses for this area, and it has something to do with picking up that echo that's over there, that echo right there, using your action skill, playing an echo, picking up the quest from this board, from this bounty board. The reason that he has that strat is because he uses grinders. He uses the quest that we're about to use here a lot earlier. He uses it in Pity's Fall to skip a lot of the dialogue. And that's what he finds works best. I personally like this better, even though it might be slower. But who knows, maybe soon I'll learn his method of doing it, because it probably is faster. So if you want to see what he does for that, check out his record. Otherwise, I'm going to show you what I use for it. So you wait for Jack to say, wait for him to finish, here we go, and then be looking at this button, because you're going to play grinders and immediately press the button. So grinders is going to skip, since we stored that dialogue before, grinders is going to skip all of this entire cutscene. There's a ton of dialogue in here that just gets completely skipped by grinders.
The first one's on the back of a buggy. I'm sending the coordinates to your Echo. Let's go shopping.
Now, if you're fast enough, then it completely skips everything. If you're even just slightly slow, then you might have a little bit more dialogue that still has to play. In terms of like, Claptrap wasn't meant for these psychological dilemmas or whatnot, so in order to skip that, you have to sequence skip to get your echo in and just skip those manually. Afterwards, you can turn in and grab Jack's quest, and you can save quit. once you're back in here, this next part is actually going to be a bit tricky because you still have to go through that same gauntlet of enemies that I went through before. Not necessarily the ones over here, but these enemies up here you still have to go through, and you are not going to have infinite ammo for it. So you have your action skill to get a little bit more health. Which I'm going to need right now. So you activate that and get Rubber Ducky. And then get into the veins of Helios and you're safe. So this is the axe farming split. Technically another point of RNG, but not nearly as bad as the gun farming. So you need 8 axes to finish the run. So I only have 4 right now, so I'm gonna save quit. And because of the way spawning works, if you spawn at a fast travel, you have to go through the tunnel animation to spawn at the fast travel. But since I'm spawning at an area travel, I don't have to wait for any animation. I just spawn immediately. So I spawn immediately, and I have an axe already. So what I just did right there, in terms of axe farming, is I roll my action skill, and right whenever I press X, or right whenever I press my action skill button, it already determines what action skill I'm gonna get. It just waits a little to show you because it's Claptrap. But if you pause and then unpause, then you can see what action skill you're about to get before you get it. So to show you why that's really helpful, you need to hopefully get not a Krieg, not a Buzz Axe. Of course, I got all the Buzz Axes I needed. All right, so I'm gonna try. There we are. So what you want to do in axe farming is what I said before in you can't get Krieg's action skill if you don't have a shield on. There's a reason why you don't want to spam your action skill, so that it because if you do, it's gonna roll your action skill before you have your shield, before it registers that you have your shield on and equipped and charged. So that's why the last 2, whenever I spammed it, I haven't gotten Krieg's action skill, even though I got it 4 times in a row previously. Oh, there, I got it because I wasn't spamming right away. So I'm spamming and I didn't get it. Spamming and I didn't get it. Spamming, oh, and I got it. But you generally don't want to spam because it's a lot less likely that you'll get it because of that. But buffering the pause so that you can see what action skill gets rolled, really good, because then you don't have to wait for the entire animation to see what you actually got. So anyway, I have all my axes, so I am good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we are good. Do I have anything? I guess this is a good time to clean out my inventory as well. So the quest that you got from Jack, that you turn in Jack's office, gives you a random laser, a random blue laser, and it's too high level for the Claptrap run, but it's a perfect level for all of the other characters. So that's actually a huge RNG point, whether you get a really good railgun to use or if not. So that's a bit of a kick in the teeth actually getting that. So I don't need that. I don't need that. That's actually better than what I have, and then I don't need the Vandergraffen. So a little bit of inventory cleaning. So all right. So now that we have 4 inventory slots, we have to do the same thing we did with the probe on the bullpup in Pity's Fall to get everything merged, which is a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. So, oh crap, I'm gonna drop that. If you're accidentally hold an X you can drop it and then fill your inventory slots and then pick it up and then you get it back. So even though I messed that up, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 axes. So didn't screw it up too bad. So I have the blot off selected. Fire it once. Axe, flat off probe. Unequip that. Then I want to merge my 2 snipers. And actually this is rerouted a little where you only merge 1 sniper. So you have a shotgun with one sniper merged. And your launcher that you can swap between. But I still like it this way, and like as with I said previous news chats, I am not too well versed in that, so I'm going with what I know and explaining what I know. So the reason that I just realized I haven't explained why we have snipers in general, because we haven't had to merge them yet. So all snipers, no matter the manufacturer, have an implicit extra 100% crit damage. So if you have a Hyperion sniper that does 100 damage and you hit a crit doubles damage, so that's 200, and then because it's a sniper, it does an extra 100%. So a crit from a 100 damage sniper will do 300 damage. If it has a critical accessory, a certain accessory that you can have that increases the critical damage, it'll do 120%, an extra 120%. All Jacob snipers have an extra 160%, and then crit accessory Jacobs have 180% crit damage. So these are 2 white snipers that once I merge them onto my character are going to give me 360 extra percent crit damage. So that's why I'm merging them. Currently I'm only using the launcher, but eventually at some point I'm going to be using the shotgun to actually do damage. So the extra a ton of crit will really help. So currently I don't have anything merged, so I'm going to merge the probe onto my first sniper. And then I'm going to merge my 4th sniper onto my first sniper, which it doesn't really matter the order that it's done in. And then we have to do the... oh crap. Actually, I merged the 4th one onto my first, so I'm fine. So this is the weird thing we have to do in dropping this. It's actually really hard to tell that I haven't merged because these are the same parts aside from the grip and the stock, which you can't really tell from here. So you have to drop this axe, first sniper, and then force equip. So I have both snipers merged, and it's on my launcher right now. So we are all set for the next couple areas. So we go through the veins of Helios. I don't have any grenades, which kind of sucks. And as with the previous areas, we are very low level. So these enemies are still going to hurt, but just hitting one shot on any enemy will heal 1200 damage. So it's a good way to stay healthy throughout all of this. So check these vendors. Ooh. That's not too bad. Definitely want to buy grenades. And then probably check for shield if there's anything. Nothing that I notice. So as soon as I cycle the airlock, and then the veins of Helios, at least casually and in all quests, is a pain to navigate. But the speedrun route is so direct and takes a really cool route through it that it's actually not that bad. So you want to grenade jump off of here, and you want to land down here. Now that was a little, it wasn't really that close. So you want to grenade jump off of this, and actually I missed it, so I'm gonna go see if I can get back there, because I really want to show it. But I'll also also show a backup path through it. So there we are. I got both boosts, and I have enough speed that I can just boost past this and land on top of where I need to go. If you get a good enough boost, you can actually land on here, and you don't have to do this, but this is another path you can take. And you go through here, and you enter through that door down there. So I'm actually I'm out of oxygen, which is a little bad.
Head to the station's reactor. Jack, I need you and your vault hunters at the eye of Helios itself. Once everyone's in place, we should be able
So I'm gonna get oxygen over here so I can show off the backup that you can do. Ow. This guy's hurt. Stop it. Alright. So take this again. Alright. So if you don't get that grenade jump, then you'll only have the strength to get to this. But even from up here, you can still grenade jump off of here and land on top of the roof. On top of the roof, as you would with the jump pad boost. So it's doable whether you get it or not. Obviously, if you get the boost, it's faster, especially since you can just ride that bunny hop to the end if you get lucky enough. So once you get down here, you cycle this airlock. It's not the main door, but obviously they knew that you could get in this way, so it's kind of neat that they programmed this way. And you go through here. You want to be careful. I generally try to like power through here and then just heal off of them. Something you can do. Ah, crap. So this area does a ton with taking control of your character and forcibly moving you around. And there's a way that you can get around it by like jumping and slamming a couple of times. So that's one way that you can just ignore that. So you want to skip all these dialogue lines. I didn't, because I was trying to explain that. So once those are skipped, you can jump over here into the plasma reactors, plasma conduits, and just destroy these. Yeah. So I guess if you're downed, it doesn't really matter if it tries to move your camera around. So maybe maybe I can stay alive during. Oh, I almost missed that. Maybe I can stay alive during this one and show how that happens. So come on, there we are. So I jumped and slammed twice, and I saved myself from having to deal with that. So generally, this area is really difficult to stay alive in. So generally, I don't even try to stay alive, and I just down myself and death warp back to where I need to go. It's technically faster to not death warp and to stay alive, but I think it doesn't save nearly as much time for it to be worth having to deal with the hassle. So press that. This is an all plays trigger that you can absolutely just jump out of and not be counted. So once that checkpoint happens, take the jump pad. Once he says wait for it, slam, and then boost. And it's really awkward timing, but it's so neat if you actually get that working really well. Either way, it's really difficult to miss that opening, so you shouldn't have to worry about that part. So there's a factory second, nice. So like I said before, factory second is probably Claptrap's best class mod for the speedrun. 13% fire rate is really good. Just plain and simple. 13% fire rate, solid. 30 by 7. 20, I'm not gonna bother. It's technically better, but not by that much for me to worry about it, especially since I'm broke apparently. Cool. Alright. So, Lunar Launching Station can be a bit of a pain, because this is where enemies start having a stupid amount of fire lasers. So, you want to try and get through this area. You don't have to activate that console ID just for the hell of it. And then you just directionally boost up here, and you can get out of bounds, jump on this catwalk thing, and get back in bounds. More direct route, and it avoids a bunch of the enemies. So, get on here. Once you get on here, try for a sequence skip. And activate the console. And that skips a decent amount of dialogue. And then Jack comes in. And then we're going to skip more dialogue. As he enters the launching station, you're going to play... Ha! I didn't grab the bounty board. So during... I shut this off, so it... Or, I wonder if I can... I wonder if I can travel to Jack's office and pick this up. I don't think I'll get all of it. Okay, so it was a little awkward, but so what I did was essentially the same thing as I did before, in that Hothead is a super hybrid. Hothead, I don't think is a quest that we use in the run, so so I think it should be fine to use that there. But I played that quest dialogue so that that super high priority was playing, and then I picked up all the other quests under dialogue. So I think enter command station. So oh no. Oh, that okay. That fast travel wasn't actually activated. Huh. Okay, good to know. So I guess we get to go through the Eye of Helios again. Oops. Whoopsies. I'm actually... Well, I'm being slow and inefficient anyway. Might as well get more money. $5,000 should be fine. Alright. Time to check all the way back to Lunar Launching Station. Oops.
Always happy to help another artificial intelligence in distress.
I'm not an AI. I'm a person. I sit in a
Yeah, at least that was some pretty slick movement.
Look, another incoming message from those jerkbags. It reads, booty salads.
I'm good.
Who has to say booty salads because some jackass wrote those words.
That's such a good line. Voiceover is such a good quest. Alright, so welcome back through the veins of Helios. Ooh. Ow. Oh, that's bad. Well, this is going well. I'm fine. I'll still be able to finish our run. is a little annoying. Yeah, like I said before, you don't notice it as much in the mains of Helios just because there aren't too many enemies that you have to deal with, and most of them are in a vacuum, so they generally have fire lasers, and fire lasers don't apply dot to you in a vacuum. But these guys have other elements which really hurt. Really hurt. Okay. So I made it past them. There's ammo crates over here if you don't want to buy grenades too, that I didn't mention before. So, good to know.
We observed the rare and beautiful poppy bird.
Am I gonna make it all the way? Sort of. I didn't keep the bunny hop, but I still ended up top. So, interesting. Alright. So we're back in Lunar launching station. So we're in Lunar launching station. We go this way and then we do this. So yeah, you just directionally boost here and you can get it. You actually also don't even need to directionally boost. You can get there without doing that. You just have to jump on that little like platform thing. So anyway, we're here. Once you're here, you use boarding party, and it skips all of Jack's dialogue. And then you can activate that immediately. And then you still have to wait for Jack's animation to finish before you can turn in. But you turn in and immediately go to the bounty board and get those 2 missions, because for whatever reason, him telling you good luck is super high priority. So you have those 2 missions in the dialogue that we actually use this in this area. So right away you use where is it? Red Then Dead, which you just picked up. Throw a grenade and hit the trigger in here, and you can skip all the dialogue in here, so you can immediately activate this, and then you can immediately run away too because you have a launcher, so you can hit that with splash damage. So next we have some really neat out of bounds that are a little difficult to like keep track of. So just this pillar, throw a grenade against it and then boost up, and you can get on here and you can jump up here and then walk along here. You can stand on this and then jump along here, and then you go through that wall and you're at the first or I guess the next coolant cell thing. Ow. That's apparently difficult to get. To get back out of bounds, jump on this power ladder and then boost over here and then onto here and then up here. And you're back where you were before, so if you follow this, then you get back out of bounds. And then you're gonna go the other way and follow all this. Jump right here, and you're at the second coolant cell. It's a really helpful out of bounds. That's at a pretty direct line. So, next node, blow that up. Once Moxie finishes, you're gonna open your quest log and switch to things that go boom. So you get here, activate the console, and then funny enough, you can just leave. You want to make sure if there's anything near the, if there's anyone near the console, you kind of want to be careful. And if you get down, then you obviously want to get back up. Oh come on! Not sure why my. That's not good. That'll be fine, I think. Okay. It's a little annoying. Hopefully I'm fine. So I think I'm gonna run into problems. I don't know, we'll see. So you can leave if there's no one trying to I'm just gonna kill you. This is part of Red and Dead. I'm just gonna kill him to get out of the way. Yeah, so if you look in that area, there's no enemies spawning over there. There's no red dots, there's no anything, so no one's gonna try and bring the shield down. It doesn't matter how fast you do that area or how many enemies you kill in there. That entire area is on a timer. It won't finish draining until the timer runs out. So you don't gain anything from standing in there. So your time is better used just going off and doing other things while that ends up draining. So the other things that we do, if we look at the two quests that we just picked up, Things That Go Boom and Red Than Dead, this one gives 9,000 experience. This one gives 22,000 experience. For some reason, they gave these two quests a stupidly high amount of experience. Things That Go Boom alone gives you a full level of experience, and then Red Than Dead can give you like half a level. So these are incredibly important for getting us to level 16, which is the reason why we've kept the Vibra Pulse this entire time, because we need to be level 16 to hit that, and we want to hit level 16 after this upcoming boss. So these two quests that we picked up, we're going to be doing while this this timer actually ticks. So once you leave there, you want to go over here and grab this fix loader. We're going to be turning this fix loader into an exploder. It's essentially the origin story of exploders, which is actually pretty neat. But it's a quest that's incredibly easy to fail, and one that you absolutely need to not fail. Because you need to hit level 15 or 16. If you do fail it, it's not the end of the world, because you can do Red Than Dead as a substitute and just barely hit level 16, whereas this will get you level 16 with ease. So you need to babysit the skin loader. You need to be really careful that the doll soldiers don't kill the loader, and B, that you don't get too far away from the loader, because especially he's going to start upgrading right there, and if you get too far away, the quest auto fails. So I've had enemies up here shooting at the loader. I go to kill them, and then the quest fails. So you need to be really careful. It's going to be really difficult too, because they're going to be doing a ton of damage to you, and you need to kill them. But this ammo crate is one that you can shoot and get health from. All the ones that look like that, the tall vertical ones, will give you ammo whenever you shoot them, or give you health whenever you shoot them. Doesn't make any sense, but it happens. So I have 2 skill points, and I said before that this is a really good skill that we're going to get, but we don't want to spec into it quite yet. We want to spend these 2 points. Actually, no, we want to spend one of these points in Fuzzy Logic, just because extra crit damage, always nice. We want to save this skill point that we have currently. And I'll explain it a little bit more once we get to the next boss. So, yeah, all these enemies are spawning, and as tempting as it is to just go over there and actually try and kill them, I try to refrain from it. And if they're doing enough damage to actually like hurt me, then just shoot the ammo crate. which is where having really good rocket speed really helps, because if you have fast rockets, then you just heal immediately. So it's really nice, and this rocket speed's decent, so it's not too bad. So force field power is depleted around the same time that if I was a little faster, then and if I hadn't died, then generally you can finish these both at the same time. So once that's finished, you can turn it into an exploder, and then whenever he uses that kind of worked, you can use Nova No Problem to skip his dialogue, and then these loaders spawn immediately. So this is one of the loaders that you use, that you test the program on. The original one that you use right here, and then there's a pathway to get to. There's a really quick pathway. I think it's this way. And then underneath here, and is this a problem? No, this isn't a problem. Okay, we're good. Okay, so you're up there, and then you jump down here, and you cycle that loader. So that's things that go boom. If you fail things that go boom, which you will, you probably will fail things that go boom. You need to complete Red Than Dead, and man, I wish I was high enough level. You need to complete Red Than Dead. So that's killing 3 couriers. This is the first one that you're gonna kill, whether you intend to or not. If you pick up that echo, I just want to skip.
How does he know? Must investigate.
I just unmerged my healing.
That's just what I need to convince the board to get rid of Jack. Find me more echoes just like that. Check there's a courier in that power plant.
This is fine.
Put your thumbs on the sticks. Rotate the right one to look around, the left one to move. No, you just drained your shields. This is so simple. What's your problem?
This is fine. Everything's fine. No healing, no. This is fine. I might use an extra axe to regain my healing, because I really want that for Zarpedon. Okay, so actually, since I died, oh god. Actually, I need healing for this guy now, because he regained his stupidly high shield. I'm unmerging everything. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. I don't have anything merged. Oh no. Okay, I might be doing extra axe farming. Oh. Oh, please. Okay, this is not going well. I think this is a safe place I can merge, yeah. Okay, so let's fix everything. Not there. Oh, I just lost my sniper. Oh, that's okay, good to know. What is happening? Oh, did I drop my sniper or something? Okay, I just dropped it. That's fine. Don't set me on fire. Alright. What? I'm sorry, what? Okay. Word to the wise. Don't throw a launcher there. Cool. Good to know. don't throw items there, because then you lose them. So I guess, what can I throw? I'll throw this Oz kit here. Okay, cool. Throw that there. Alright, there we go. I have everything merged. We're good. And then I'm gonna skull shoot because I need it for this guy. Yeah, look at how fast this dude's health is gonna. I don't know. Yeah. His health just obliterates whatever. Okay, anyway. So I might also be might also be farming for a new launcher. That kind of sucks, but whatever. So that's the next one. He's not going to be difficult to kill if you don't die. If you do die, he's going to be impossible to kill. Is the basic idea there. So the last courier is going to be right here. Oh, don't. No! He's so dead. There we are. And then there's last echo. I'm dead, aren't I? Yeah. Oh, there we are. Oh, no we're not. Okay, so I am dead. Cool. Okay, so that's Red and Dead. God, this winter's launching session was a mess. So moral of the story. In my runs, I only do things that go boom. I don't worry about Red than Dead at all, really. I only worry about Red than Dead if I fail things that go boom. So that's the moral of the story. Where am I in here? Okay, go through here. So anyway, if you just do things that go boom, you'll drop down here to get the last exploder. And then you'll get killed by a singular turret. And then you launch through the Helios. And that was Lunar launching station, not scuffed at all. Okay, so you enter here. This is where, if you have your launcher equipped, if you had a launcher, this is where you would change to a shotgun, because this next boss is going to be really important to have shotgun damage for, and crit damage, rather than launcher damage. So here, once Jack gets over here, you want to swap to Chogo. It didn't work properly, but the way that stuff interrupts itself skips everything, even though everything like interrupts itself. It's weird and it doesn't make any sense, but Togo is what you use to skip here. And then once Jack clears everything, you want to potentially sequence skip, but if not, that actually works. Actually, that's better. Yeah. Yeah, that one's just better, I think. I'll keep both of them, but and I can't afford grenades. So let's make sure I can afford grenades. Okay, so After all that, you go into here and enter the elevator. And you generally, I like to go in that corner of those, the corner of that like triad thing of the reactor cores to activate the cutscene, because it gives you a little bit of cover, plus it activates the cutscene. During the cutscene, you want to swap to fire to scroll down. So the same thing I've been doing with the pre-scroll mouse that I've done a couple of times throughout the run already. This is where it comes into play for boss skilling, because it is really, really strong with all that crit damage and the infinite ammo. So another thing that I didn't mention in the whole something really, really important for this fight. This action skill, you're gonna love me, aka Gun Wizard. Every time you spec into a new action package, so this one, I don't know Claptrap's skill tree all that well, but there's a action package Laser Inferno, and there's an action package kick him when he's clap in the box. There's Torque Fiesta, there's Pirate Ship mode. Every time you spec into one of these skills, the next action skill that you roll will guaranteed be that action package. So we saved that extra skill point for now to spec into Gun Wizard now. So now whenever I roll my action skill, which I don't have, which is a bit of a problem, there we are. Now that I roll my action package, and you need to stay alive for this part, you get Gun Wizard, and you get an insane fire rate. And with all the snipers merged, and the big crit spot that Zarpedon has, you can do a ton of damage. So especially if she does that, she's just standing still for you to get crits for. So generally, you want to play an Echo before you completely kill her. But I got a little excited. So I forgot that part. But you have to wait a little bit for her to like get back out of her thing. And then we have another cutscene, yay. So for this next phase, you can roll your action skill if you want to try and get Micro Magician or Gun Wizard again. But you really don't need the action skill. You do enough crit damage, and you generally heal enough that no matter what she does, you probably won't die. And you'll do enough damage to kill her. Once she's dead, stay put. So this is actually probably where I'm gonna do my makeup axe farming for all the axes that I had to regain. So I have 2 right now, so I need 2 more. This is also a place where if you need axe farm, you spawn at an area chapel, so you can axe farm here if you need to. Alright, so I got the axes I need. And I didn't really need to save quit, but whatever. So, this next jump, or this next out of bounds is incredibly difficult, and it's the one out of bounds that I don't actually have in the playlist that's been in the description, because you can only get to this area in the story. And whenever I was testing all the jumps, I wasn't doing it in the story, so I didn't have a save setup in this area. So I guess this is the tutorial for how to do this out of bounds. So you're going to want to go to this ramp. So it's not the first one. that's over here, it's this ramp. And then on this like little patch is about where you can throw grenades straight down. And then as it lands, you look up, jump once, and then I boost after I jump. It's a really weird setup that I use, but it works for me. So you need to be careful here because there's a death plane immediately above your head. So if you jump, you will instantly die. So you need to be really careful. I think even like right there is a death plane. So you need to be careful, but once you get up here, you can throw a grenade, and so long as you don't jump, you can boost into here. And once you landed here, go to this area, onto this platform. Once Jack finishes wooing, oh, actually, I messed up the dialogue skips. The previous one was supposed to be Land Among the Stars, and then this one is supposed to be Torgo Torgo. Oh well, so I mixed that up a little bit. So, yeah, I swapped up those. So, at this part, you're supposed to use Torgo Torgo. At the previous one in the laser, you're supposed to use Land Among the Stars. So that's my bad. So once you get the meet up with Jack trigger, you get the trigger from standing in here. So if you're like standing right here, you won't get that trigger until you go over here. So once you get that check mark, save quit again. All these save quits, again, it wastes axes, it wastes time setting up the glitches, but it saves so much time in skipping animations, cutscenes, etc. So you're back over here, you get to do the out of bounds again. So I'll say it again, it's on this little patch thing. I like to do it in between the screws or whatever. As the grenade hits the ground, jump. I missed it. As the grenade hits the ground, jump once, and then boost up after you jump up once, and you're up here. And then once you're in here, you want to make sure this save is active. Well, I guess you don't necessarily have to, but you can make sure the save is active, and then you can do a dialogue skip if you have dialogue skips, but since I used Hothead, then. So once that finishes, play an echo. And then you can skip, you only skip your first line, and then with Claptrap's echo interrupting itself, it automatically skips dialogue. So you need to be fast with cycling these, because that Objective 3 will actually skip Moxie here too, but since that was slow, it didn't. So you finish that, and then you can skip these. And then there's a trigger up there that you have to hit. It's saying that you have to hit the console, but if you just directionally boost up there, you're in the area for the trigger to actually hit. So all this dialogue ends up happening. And then you can skip Moxie there with potentially I use Hothead there, but since I had to use it to get the other dialogue skips, I didn't have it to use. So either way, it doesn't really matter. Once Jack says this line, you can travel to Lunar Launching Station. And then here, right whenever you spawn in, you use Infinite Loop, which you picked up from Jack. You go into here, hit the console. You have to wait for the console to actually activate, which gives you time to turn in the mounting board. And then you can save quit. So, like I said before, those two quests, Red Than Dead and Things That Go Boom, give 31,000 experience. It is a stupidly high amount of experience. So, you are a high enough level now, and then once you save quit, you turn in the story mission as well. If you only do Red Than Dead, then you won't hit level 16 until you turn in this story mission. So be aware of that. So once you turn that in, you can save quit. And then here's again a bit of a divergence in strats in terms of what I personally use and what some other runners use. It's saying to go to Titan Flats. I personally like going to Concordia instead. So in going to Concordia, you can do a couple things. For one, you get a bunch of vendor checks. So here I get 2 items that are stupidly good that I can't afford. So if I had the money, this would be a really good railgun. 165 damage is really good. 521, really good. Better than what I have right now, but actually, what was that? 6. Yeah, that's better. So I get the launcher, especially since I can sell that. So I'll get the launcher, and I guess I can sell that and that. So you get a bunch of vendor check. You get that vendor check, you get that vendor check, and then you get 1 more. So I also go into Moxie's bar and get this Moxtail for the extra fire rate, and it gives you extra swap speed, which really helps as well. So then you can check this vendor for, you're looking for a better shotgun, a better launcher, a better railgun, a better any of the weapons that you're using. So it's an undippable sniper. Nice. So like that's 32 damage. I have a 28 damage. Is it worth it? Probably not. Do I have the money for it? No, not really, so I'm not gonna bother. You're generally looking at the items of the day, because those are like run changing weapons that you can potentially get. So nothing in here. Also, a really neat thing is you need to go like right over there, and taking this travel, you're actually technically closer than you are from the fast travel. So obviously you're doing a lot more running, but in the long run I think it's worth it, because you get a chance at better weapons, and the fire rate Moxtail just helps so much through the rest of the run. So you want to get here, and then here is where you set up your merges again. So launcher, let's not screw this up. So merged infinite ammo, merged healing, and actually the merging is faster because the Moxtail gives you swap speed, so that's another interesting thing about that. So I have everything merged, and I merged it onto the Vibra Pulse. So since we just hit, well, 17 now, but since we just hit 16, now we get to equip the Vibra Pulse, and the Vibra Pulse is incredibly broken. So the Vibra Pulse does 2 things. One, it's a Moxie weapon, so just like the probe, it heals you for a tiny bit. Not that much compared to the probe. It's like, I want to say 5% maybe. So all in all, not that great. But we don't use it for its healing capability. It has a special effect where it chains a chain of lightning from one enemy to another, which is actually really neat and really interesting. Well, if you swap back and forth, now it chains 2 chains, now 3 chains to an enemy, now 4 chains, and then you do that 500 times and it chains 500 chains. So it can do an incredibly high amount of damage to enemies. Now, the damage of those chains is based on the damage of the laser that you're holding. So I've stacked 3 stacks of Vibra Pulse right now, so there are going to be 3 30 damage chains that chain out to other enemies. But if I change it to my 100 damage railgun, now there's going to be 3 chains of 100 damage that chain to an enemy. So this can get incredibly broken really quickly. So what I'm going to be doing throughout all this time is I'm going to be swapping back and forth. You need to wait to make sure your ammo bar, your ammo count pops up again before you swap back. So I swap back and forth, and I wait for my ammo bar to come back. This is another reason why I love getting that Moxtail, because it increases your swap speed. So that means you can get more stacks of Vibra Pulse a lot quicker than you can normally. So, and then if you need any more gear, you can get that from, you get one more vendor check. Another thing, another railgun, but I can afford that one, so I'll grab that, because why not? And it's slightly better, so sure. And since we're level 16, we also get the Slammer. It's a worse shield, but it has a chance to drop like a doll booster called a Slammer, even though it's an ancient shield. And it increases movement speed, fire rate, which are both really good. I don't use it all that often, and I really should, because it's really strong, but I just don't use it as much as I really do. So anyways, once you get up here, you're gonna grenade jump over here, and I think you need to directionally boost. So I don't know if you heard that zzz, that big zap. That was the Vibra Balls. Yeah, we'll get into that. So you're gonna get into this little crevice, and this is the second death flame that I was talking about earlier. So right here, you're gonna down yourself, and then you want to like ram yourself into this corner, and you want to look at the top corner, top left corner, the top right corner of the top left of the Helios station, and then you force kill yourself, and you'll hit all of the triggers that you need to. There's a trigger between Jack and Tacitor that you have to hit before you can progress. There's a cutscene trigger which you don't need to hit, and is actually, you can avoid it, but it's difficult too. And you hit the save. So a lot of things that you can hit with that. So here's another good thing about the Vibra Balls, and with so you can see, can't really see it all that well right now because I haven't stacked it all that much, but I hope I didn't lose my healing. One really good thing about aim assist, that you can hold down the beam and just toggle. Like if you're just holding down the beam normally, its accuracy is terrible, but by toggling scope, you can lock into enemies and have much better accuracy. So getting out full pumping station, you immediately want to play an urgent message, because that'll skip all of the dialogue and you'll be able to kill that dude right away. So press that, stacking as much Vibra Pulse as possible. Because it really makes a difference for the final boss, and I guess the final pseudo boss. Having a good amount of Vibra Pulse stacked really makes a difference for them. So this is RK5, the most forgettable enemy in the series, and for this one you want your shotgun and skull shooting again. Okay, I do have healing. So for RK5, you want to aim at his at those like propeller things. That's where the crit is. So you're gonna hit that. This is also another part where the Moxtail really makes a difference, because all fire rate is super good whenever you have Jacob shotguns. So I've done enough damage where I don't need skull shooting anymore. So I'm getting back to the Vibra Pulse and going back to normal shooting so I can stack more Vibra Pulse. So I guess it didn't do quite as much damage, but there we are. We're good now. You want to skip these lines if possible, but I was more worried about actually killing him. So you can see with this, with me toggling, it's so loud. For me toggling scope so quickly, the accuracy is really good despite this. I'm not moving my mouse, by the way, but because I can toggle scope and aim assist and abuse that, it makes the accuracy a lot more bearable. So we're just about done with the run. We're in Tycho's ribs. This is again a bit of a difficult section. It's actually because, oh god, this is so loud. So this is really loud because that's how many Viropulse chains are being stacked right now. They're all stacking to other enemies. So what you want to do is you want to grenade jump off of that and go around this area and slam down to here. And then you want to take this jump pad. You want to be careful about this thing in the center because it can expand and ruin your day. Now you want to go all the way to the bottom of here because there's a trigger down here that causes Jack to talk that you have to hit before you can actually progress in the area. Once you get to the top of here though, you can do a grenade jump. You only want to do one jump, and then once you get through here you can do your second jump, and then you can go out of bounds right here. You need to be careful once you get to this one because that's a death wall. So you want to jump around that, and then you can land on here. And then this wall you can get inbounds in. And since you hit the trigger at the bottom, you can use this cannon. Break this open. And then bunny hop your way to the end. So it's really difficult, just that starting area, getting through that gauntlet of enemies is the main challenge. So get to the end of here, and you have one more cutscene that again you only see in New Vault Hunter mode. That's a loading screen that I don't know why they did it like this, but they did it like this, so we have to watch a cutscene. And we're entering the last area of the game. Alright, now what you're supposed to do is like go, and I think if you look at the map it's like a massive circle. Yeah, it's just a massive circle. You're supposed to go all the way around and then something over there. But screw that, we have grenades and we can just grenade jump around here and activate the last, the mini boss in the last area. So once you get over here, we have another cutscene for the Opus Superior. It's a super simple grenade jump, and just getting over there activates the pseudo boss. So here you want to swap to your railgun, and like I said, the Viropulse chains they apply to all lasers. Period. I don't know what they did coding wise that causes it, but any stacks that you get with the Viropulse apply to every single laser you get, and the damage of those chains depends on the base damage of the laser that you're holding. So you could see that chain did like 20-some thousand, so it's doing a number to the Opus Superior. So the way that actually firing the Viropulse works is you don't want to do damage. You don't want to shoot the enemy that you want to damage because you want the chains to do the damage, because there's hundreds of chains of 100 damage. So you need an enemy that's not the enemy that you want to shoot. So I want to kill the Opus Superior. I need to find some other enemy, like this Guardian, to shoot so that the chains actually hit the Guardian. Now, since the railgun consumes 4 ammo per shot, I don't have infinite ammo, so that's why I have to reload. So after all those chains, the Opus Superior is dead. So once Opus Superior is dead, you can turn around, and you want to go around over here. You need to be a little careful of these guys that spawn because they can absolutely ruin your day. Interesting level up there, actually. So, with those guys, you want to grenade jump, and you can grenade jump up to the top over here. You don't have to take the intended route. And then grenade jump here just saves a little bit of time. It doesn't actually, like, skip anything. It's just a more optimal path. So, now you're in the Vault of the Warrior, or what game is this? Vault of the Warrior? Vault of the Sentinel. And this is the final boss of the game. So, I really like the Sentinel. The Sentinel fight. I very much enjoyed it my first time playing it, and I liked it a lot more than the Warrior fight. However, it's no pushover whenever your gen levels under leveled. So, the Sentinel has 7 different phases. 4 of them are in a humanoid form, and then 3 of them are in this giant mega whatever form. So this first phase is the most RNG dependent combat of the run, because it is just you and him, nothing else. So you can't use the Vibra Pulse on him. You pretty much just have to brute force him with whatever you have. And whatever you end up doing is going to depend on the action package you get entirely. So 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to want a launcher, because it's probably going to be your highest damage. So this launcher is actually pretty good, and so if you get Meat Unicycle, run, because you can't do any damage to him. Did he lose aggro on me? No, we're good. Okay, so that was unfortunate. So the other options you can get, if you get Funzerker's actually not bad in this final fight. I know I said earlier that once you hit level 10, Funzerker's terrible and awful, but Funzerker with the Vibra Pulse is actually really doable, and actually more or less fast, especially if you have the Moxtail. You'll have a higher fire rate, so you'll do more damage on both hands, and then your offhand that doesn't have infinite ammo, you have increased reload speed, so you'll be able to get back to doing damage faster. Unless you get Gunzerker, you're going to be using a launcher. So having a factory second and the Moxtail is actually not too terrible, because I'm doing a good amount of damage from the fire rate. Again, this launcher really helps. It's imperative that you have healing for this. The fight's 100% doable without the probe heal, without the probe merged, but it is so much more difficult, and I'm saying that from experience. Probably the most stressful time I had in a run was a run that was on PB pace where I unmerged my probe, because you have to do these, you just have to avoid taking damage from him. And if you do take damage, you can't use your action skill for offense. You have to use it to heal yourself. So that's the first phase. You just kind of shoot him with what you got. This launcher was really good. If I had the other launcher, it'd probably be pretty slow. The purple one, it'd probably be pretty slow, even though it was a really good purple one. This one was probably a lot better. So that's the first phase. You're done with launchers now. You can swap to the Vibra Pulse for the time being, and while you're at it, fill out Fuzzy Logic, and then I'm actually not sure what you use the last skill point in. I don't think it really matters. Max health, sure. So you want to jump over here to avoid taking damage from him. And then once he's in a damageable state, you can swap to your railgun. This phase, he spawns ads. So because of that, you can utterly demolish him with the Viper Pulse. So this is bad, but I think I'll be fine. Yep. Not an issue. So, this just is the Viper Pulse in general that's doing it like this, but also because of the swap speed, it's doing a lot more damage than it would unless you get the Moxtail. So, like I said, it's personal preference. I think it's technically slower for that one split, but I think the damage output that you get from both RK5 and for both the first phase of the Sentinel, I think it makes it worth it. But that's personal philosophy. That it's up for you to decide whether you want to go for that or not. So now you just have to wait for the Sentinel to spawn his next phase. Stack more Viper Balls because you're gonna need it. Alright, so once he starts spawning, you can swap back to your railgun. And here you actually want to swap to scroll shooting. Because you're going to use the railgun to break his shield, and then you're going to swap to your shotgun. And now that his face is fully exposed and a massive crit spot, you can just obliterate his face with crits. So you kill some of the Sarahs to stay alive. Keep your healing. Now this next phase is his shock phase. He resists shock, so the only thing you can really do is spam his face and run your action package and hope you can sneak crits inside of him. If you get Gun Wizard, that really, really helps. Because fire rate is always, always, always appreciated. Gun Wizard's really good here, Mecha Magician really good here, the usual. So, that's able to break his shield. Then you can swap to, yeah, I like the railgun here because you can still shoot the Sentinel's body. It still exists, it still has a hitbox. And you can get chains off of it and kill the Sarahs for second wins. Alright, so this is the very last phase, the corrosive phase. Remember, Claptrap is weak to it, so break his shield with the railgun, swap to the Long Rider, or swap to the shotgun, obliterate his face, and the final boss is dead, and the speedrun's just about over. I'm gonna use an action skill so I don't die. Get an axe, sure. And timing ends whenever you touch the vault symbol that comes out of here. So a little bit after stuff starts spawning, I use voiceover just because I like ending runs with Video Volcano. It skips dialogue, and then you press that. And that is any percent Claptrap in a nutshell. That's basically the run. There's probably something that I missed throughout the course of this run, but those are the very basics. There's definitely 100% check out the world record for this from AC, and at the time of me recording this, Dark Smoke is doing attempts to try and take the record back, so you can check him out as well. And check out the strats that they're doing that are different from what I'm explaining, because some of them are really, really cool strats that I just need to learn a little bit and get used to. So take a look, check them out. They're awesome runners. And if you have any questions about anything that I covered or anything that I didn't cover, there's a link on speedrun.com to the Discord. There's a channel for the pre-sequel. Ask your question in there. All of us are more than happy to answer your question and give any help that we can give. You can also comment on this video if you need any questions answered, and I will answer those as well. And yeah, thank everyone so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing more people attempt to runs on this game. So I can't wait to see some more runs on speedrun.com. So thanks for watching. One last thing, which is a pretty appropriate way to end anything in this game. This cutscene's unskippable. I'm hitting escape. You can hit escape after hitting the vault symbol for like a fraction of a second. If you hit it fast enough, you can hit escape there and save quit. But if you get to this cutscene, you can just Alt F4 the game and finish the cutscene. So you don't have to watch it. So really good way to end it. Again, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you all later.